Hello everyone, this is your instructor, Dr. Kerin14e. In this lecture, let's talk about retailing and wholesaling. Okay, Chapter 16, Retailing and Wholesaling. We talk about what are the retailers in terms of the utilities they provide, and alternative ways to classify retail outlets, and also what is non-store retailing, and the wholesale retail life cycle, etc. Okay. Excuse me. There are smart stores that are changing the customer journey right now. We all know that the retailing as an industry seems to be in decline. We have seen many shopping malls, big shopping centers, closing down, because of the internet, e-commerce, and delivery. But also, retailing is actually re-emerging in another way, in new ways, with technology and retailing working together to create the smart store. Like this case here, they use the biometric scanners and use 3D modeling tools, to help you identify the things you need to fit your body. They use wearable technologies, and shopping apps and pay by smartphones and watches, etc., instead of using your cash or credit card. This seems to be maybe the future of retail stores. This type of stores are being tested in many countries, especially in Asia. Let's talk about the retailing. What is retailing? Okay? Retailing consists of all activities involved in selling, renting, and providing products and services to ultimate consumers for personal, family, or household use. Okay, that's retailing. And the consumer utilities offered by retailing include the place utility, possession utility, form utility, and time utility. Basically, the place utility is that the retailers provide the place or the location, the stores where you can go and get products, merchandise that you want. Okay, they provide that utility. They offer possession utility, so you can own, and use it. And they perform form utility in that they can make the products the way you can use in your household. Okay. The time utility means that they can actually get the product, provide product, make it available to you at a time that you need. Okay, with the time you need. Okay, and even time you don't need, by during the time you don't need, they have the stock somewhere. So you in the future, when you have the need, you go and the product will be there. Okay? That's time utility. There's a huge global economic impact of retailing. Five out of 40 largest businesses in the U.S. are retailers. I'm sure you can name some of them, like a Walmart, Home Depot, CarMax, etc. Okay. Let's take a look at examples here. Which retailer best provides which utilities here. On this slide here, we have time utility here, place utility, form utility, and possession utility. Right. On this side here, we have Wells Fargo, right, CarMax, Ralph Lauren, and Dick's Sporting Goods. Okay. So what kind of thing they do? Wells Fargo is one of the largest and best-run consumer banks in the U.S. It reaches 70 million retail customers through 8,700 stores and the worldwide networks of 13,000 ATMs. What kind of utilities provided here? Right? Okay. You know what? I'm going to leave this with you. I want you to go home and think about this, and discuss this among yourself in your group study. well, as you work on your group project, you have a chance to work on that. See, it matches one of the four utilities here, okay? The second one is CarMax. CarMax is the nation's largest retailer of used cars, operating 145 superstores. It's no haggle sales policy, test drives, financing, trade-ins, and electronic walk-arounds are all offered to encourage customers to purchase from CarMax. So which utility is that? Ralph Lauren, right? The fashion designer. Ralph Lauren's Create Your Own collection at its website here allows customers to create their own custom shirts by selecting from among 15 styles, 13 colors, 2 logo locations, 12 font styles, 9 logo colors, and 5 sizes. The shirts are delivered in 1 to 3 business days. What kind of utility is there? Okay. Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's Sporting Goods is the leading sporting goods retailer offering year-round inventory for a wide range of sports and activities. And even during the off-season of seasonal sports, equipment is available at more than 640 stores. This obviously is what? Time utility, right? Okay, well, I'm not going to talk any further. I want you to match one of these to one of these here in your study, okay? This is the sales volume for the major industries in retailing industries, retailing type of stores, right? This number is in billions of dollars, right? And the number one is motor vehicle and parts dealers. That's 1,000 billion. That's 1 trillion US dollars. 1 trillion, that's a lot, right? Then food and beverage stores, 685 billion, right? General merchandise stores, 674. Food services, drinking places, 623. Like bars, right? And non-store retailers, that's a big one, we'll talk about just a second. Gas stations, 443 billion, right? And the building materials and garden stores, like Home Depot, Lowe's. Health and professional care stores, okay? Clothing and accessory stores, furniture and home furnishings stores, like electronics, appliance stores, and sporting goods, hobby, book, and music stores. Okay? So that's the volume of retailing. You can see the different type of retailings. Okay? Also, for the retail outlets, when we classify the retail outlets, we can look at the form of ownership, the level of service they provide, and also the line of merchandise they carry. As to form of ownership, that distinguishes retail outlets based on whether independent retailers, corporate chain stores, or contractual system own the outlet. Okay, we can look at that, classified retailers based on this form of ownership. The level of service include, it is a degree of service provided to customers from the 3 types of retailers: self-service, limited service, and full service. Okay, the level of service. And merchandise line describes how many different types of products a store carries and in what assortment. Okay, that's the line of product. So we can use these to classify retail outlets. Some retailers, practice green, go green or green business. Nelson survey of consumers in 60 countries found that 55% are willing to pay more for products with a positive environmental impact. That's consumers, right? But many retailers are going green. They take the social and environmental responsibilities. So, and you can go to Newsweek Green Rankings to see the companies. Okay? First, let's look at classified retail stores, retail outlets by its form of ownership. Right? The first one is the independent retailer. That's account for most of 3.7 million stores in this country. Almost 4 million stores in this country and most of them are independent retailers. In other words, you own one, you own your own retail stores. You don't belong to a chain, national chain, or other organization or other companies. Then there is a corporate chain stores, owned by corporation. They have many chain stores, okay? And they have multiple outlets and the one common ownership, okay? And there is a contractual system. The independent owned stores work together and act as a chain. That could be like many franchise stores, right? The franchise store, like fast food restaurants, it could be owned by independently owned by local people, but they work together as a chain, restaurant chain. Okay? And for the contractual systems, you could be retailer-sponsored cooperatives, okay, that they work together as a cooperative, or it could be wholesale-sponsored voluntary chain or franchise, like this Jimmy John's, sandwich store, gourmet sandwich stores. You probably see that in many malls here, okay, franchise. These are the top 5 franchises in the United States. They vary from convenience stores to business support centers. Okay, you can see huge. 7-Eleven. We probably don't see that many here in South Carolina or in Macon. It's a convenience store, okay? And it's very popular in Japan, in Taiwan. Right? And there are 60,000, almost 60,000 of them worldwide. Okay, I'm sorry, in the business, that's in the U.S. And the startup cost is anywhere from 37,000 to 1.6 million. Okay, it's a small store, corner on corner. It costs less than 40,000. You can start one. McDonald's hamburgers, 36,000 stores. You need $1 million. Cool, 1 million to 2.2 million to start McDonald's. Okay? Dunkin' Donuts bakery, 11,000, almost 12,000, 200 to 1.6 million to start. UPS store, business support center, almost 5,000 of them, and 160,000 to 400,000 to start the store. Jimmy John's sandwiches, and 2,600 stores, 300,000 to 500,000 to start. Okay, some of you maybe in the future will start your own business or buy a franchise. Okay, you need to get money ready. Okay, it could be you save the money, you borrow the money, you pool the money together. Some way to find out. So this give you an idea how much you need. Okay? We can also classify retail outlets by its level of service. Okay? There is self-service, like customers perform functions, like this red box, DVD rental. Have you used that? Right? And you rent a DVD, your self-service kiosk, get a DVD, and take home, watch it, come back and drop it. You can reserve it online and hold it for you. There's a limited service retailers, right? They provide some services only. And there is full service, provide full service to customers. Okay? Let's look at example. Stores vary in terms of the breadth and depth of their merchandise lines. Okay? You look at the store, the breadth of this merchandise line means the number of different product lines they have. Okay? Your store has, say, department store. They have shoes, appliances, books, men's clothing, everything. That's a very broad line, right? And the depth means the number of items within each product line. Within shoe, for example, this product lines, you have Nike's running shoes, Florsheim, dress shoes, Sperry boat shoes, Adidas, tennis shoes, Vans skate shoes, Converse sneakers. You have different. That's the depth. Okay, this is the breadth. This is the depth. In appliances, you have GE, you have Panasonic, Whirlpool, Frigidaire. Right, that's depth. In books, you have mystery, romance, science fiction, history, poetry, entertainment. That's depth. In men's clothing, you have shoes, ties, jackets, overcoats, socks, and shirts. That's depth. Okay, depth. And as to the type of merchandise line, the type of product line, that means that store carry a large assortment of each product item, okay? And there are specialty outlets. They have limited or single line stores, just one type of things. Or there are category killers. They dominate the market in just one category, one certain category. Like, for example, staples. They have just one category, all this office supplies, right? Or you have Best Buy, home electronics. Okay? The breadth of the product line you may have general merchandise stores. They have a very broad product line, large department stores like that. And you can have like scrambled merchandising, right, that carries unrelated product lines in a single store, like Walmart. Okay? Then there's a hypermarket that offer everything under one roof. Okay? The type of merchandise line. And there's a supercenter, like Walmart Supercenter and Target Supercenter. They combine merchandise stores with full-size grocery stores. Okay? You have a grocery store and the merchandise store, and together called Supercenter. There is inter-type competition that occurs between this similar type of retail outlets, especially because they are like a hypermarket type or supercenter type thing. They have everything. Therefore, they are competing with many other kind of stores. Okay? If you look at the many retailing activities, they do not involve a store. But have you seen that or used that? Okay? For example, there is a direct selling. They don't have a store. Telemarketing, telephone call centers, online retailing, TV home shopping network (QVCs), okay? Or direct mail and catalogs, and automatic vending machines. These are all retailings, but they don't need a store, right? So depending on the active customer involvement, these are highly involved. Here is a low involvement. Also, active retailer involvement. Towards this side is high, towards this side is low. Okay, these are all retailers, but they don't have stores, okay? Non-stores. ATM, automatic vending machines. Yeah. We have you see many vending machines in public places. In our School of Education, Business Education building, if you go to Japan, you'll be amazed at how many vending machines they have. Their vending machine can give you, kind of like a hot, soup, not just refrigerated, but a really hot soup, ready-made. They serve customers when and where the stores cannot do so, 24 hours a day, for example. 40% cold beverages, 38% of candy and snacks, and 7% of food are actually sold through vending machines. Okay? And direct mail catalogs, the store that comes to your door, right? Like IKEA videos will show you, right? Non-store retailing. TV home shopping. Consumers just watch a shopping channel, then place an order. Okay? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 364 days a year, basically. 360 million homes in the U.S., U.K., Germany, Japan, Italy, and China are using TV home shopping. Okay? There's also online retailing, 24-hour access, comparison shop, in-home privacy, like Amazon, eBay. I'm sure you're very familiar with. Okay? Then there's telemarketing. What is telemarketing? Consists of using telephone to interact with and sell directly to consumers. I'm sure you have received some of the phone calls here, and many of them annoyed you. What do you do? As a consumer, you can go to Do Not Call registry. You register your phone numbers, they're not supposed to call you anymore. Okay? Telemarketing uses telephone to sell, used by 40% of businesses. You'd be surprised how many businesses actually use that. There's a National Do Not Call registry. And then there's a direct selling, like Mary Kay. heard about Mary Kay selling all those cosmetics. Personal interactions in home or offices, they're expanding rapidly outside of the United States. Retailing strategy is related to store positioning and retailing mix. Know the similarity between retailing mix and marketing mix, right? Remember our marketing mix? Yeah, this is a retailing mix. Okay? You have a retailing strategy, and that involves your retail store positioning, okay, and retailing mix. And that then includes your merchandise management and store management. You need to manage the merchandise you carry and also the stores, different stores in the region, in the country, okay? And that, then you need to consider retail pricing issues, location of stores, retail communications, and merchandise. Okay? That's the retailing mix. Okay? Retail positioning matrix. Retail position matrix is a matrix that will position retail outlets on two dimensions: breadth of product lines, and value added, such as the location, product reliability, or prestige. That's your positioning matrix. Right? You can see the breadth of the product line, value added, and the four possible positions. Okay? Here are the positioning strategy for retailers based on the breadth of the product line and value added. Okay, you have high value added and very broad product lines. It'll be like Bloomingdale's store, right? High end, great service, higher value added, lots of type of product. If you are selling a broad range of product, but not adding too much value, not too expensive, you can have, Walmart belongs to that kind of type of companies, retailers. Okay, you have the narrow breadth of product line, just like this one here, just shoes, pay like shoe stores, right? The value added is low, is cheap, but only just by selling shoes. Or if it's narrow product line and high value added, like the Tiffany and Company selling those luxury, items, jewelries. Okay? Retailing mix. What is retailing mix? Okay? Retailing mix consists of the activities related to managing the store and the merchandise in the store, which includes retail pricing, store location, retail communication, and merchandise. Okay? And there's as to retail pricing, there's the original markup, and maintained markup, gross margin, and markdown. Okay, different way of pricing that. Retailing mix, some companies use everyday low pricing, EDLP, okay, and that's used by Walmart, like Walmart. Okay? Some others use everyday fair pricing. Okay? Some they use the benchmark or signpost items, right, to the price. And also there are off-price retailing, off-price retailing, like a warehouse club, warehouse like Costco, right? And there's the outlet store, right? There are the unpredictable selections of things, and this was when the consumers search for bargains, like TJ Maxx, pretty good value. And this is off Saks Fifth Avenue. We know that Saks Fifth Avenue is a high-end, expensive store, right? But they have another outlet called Off Fifth. That's actually things, they kind of like things that they cannot sell anymore, or they have surplus from Saks Fifth Avenue. They put it on Off Fifth that's cheaper and provided for consumers searching for bargains. I'm sure some of the ladies will know that. Okay. Also, store locations. You can have your stores in the central business district, CBD, in major cities, right? You can have them in regional shopping centers, right? In regional shopping centers, each shopping center normally has, several anchored, what we call anchor stores, big major store like Nordstrom, Macy's, or JCPenney's, like anchor stores, right? Or you can have a store in the strip mall, like a really small shopping center, maybe just consisting of, maybe like 5, 10, stores, or in those power centers, okay? There are also retailers using multi-channel retailing. Okay? As to retail communications, they use image and use shopper marketing. What's shopper marketing? This use of displays, coupons, product samples, and other brand communications to influence shopping behavior in the store. Okay? We use that in the retail store. Merchandising, there's a term called category management. What's category management? It's approach to managing the assortment of merchandise in which a manager is assigned the responsibility of selecting all products the consumer in the market segment might view as substitutes for each other, with the objective of maximizing sales and profits in the category. Okay? So category managers, they actually the one to choose, to select which product line to carry, what merchandise to have in the store. Interesting job. Okay? And they use marketing metrics, like they really look at, if something is selling hot or not so hot, well or not so well, okay? They use sales per square foot, that is, how much sales is generated for every square foot of the store area. Or they use same store sales volume to analyze, to see the trend, okay? These examples of why Apple stores may be the best in the United States. Okay, there's Apple stores, and if you look at the sales per square foot, okay, sales per square foot here, this is Target, this is Neiman Marcus, high end, this is Best Buy Electronics, Tiffany, Jewelers, Apple, 4,800, right, per square foot. Okay? That's pretty good. Right, sales per square foot. Okay, so sales per square foot and same-store sales growth. Sales per square foot is the total sales divided by selling area in square feet. Okay, and the same-store growth is store sales year 2 minus year 1 divided by year 1 times 100, give you a percentage. Okay. Again, you look at the sales, the same store sales growth in Target, is actually growing very slowly. Even Marcus, very little bit. Best Buy is actually dropping, right? And Tiffany and Apple is high. See why Apple is very profitable per square footage, and also is the sales growing very fast. Okay. Wheel of retailing. There's a term called wheel of retailing. What do we mean by wheel of retailing? That's a concept that describes how new forms of retail outlets enter the market, right? We're gonna have there always been new forms of retail outlets in the marketplace. We see some old type of retail stores, dying, decaying, disappearing, new forms of retailing emerging. We see that all the time. Okay? That's how new forms of retail enter the market. That's how wheel retailing. And also, retailers or retail stores have a life cycle too. You probably know product life cycles, right? The retail stores, they grow and they decline also. Okay? There's McDonald's video you can watch here. There's a Chick-fil-A restaurant. Okay? So basically, the wheel retailing describes how outlets change over time. You start with the outlet, right? This is a circle's passage of time. Wrong. The outlet, first outlet starts with low price, low margins, and low status. Okay? And then as time passes by, outlet add services. They become higher price, higher margins, and higher status. And the time goes by, and the outlet has still higher price, still higher margins, still higher status. And as more time passes, outlet has still more services. Then new formal outlet enters retailing environment with characteristics of outlet in box one. Okay, that's what we mean by the wheel of retailing. This will be in your test, okay? Make sure you study that well. Also, for retail life cycle, that describes the stages of growth and decline for retail outlets. Okay, that's the early stage, early growth stage, accelerated development, maturity, and decline. The state of life cycle. And also, if you look at the market share or profit, this is a blue is market share, red is blue market share, red is profit. You can see they started out as like for example, value retail centers, online retailers, single brand stores. You know, these are in the early growth stage, and single price stores, factory outlet stores, or warehouse clubs, Costco, they are actually in accelerated development or stage. And then if you look at fast food outlet, convenience stores, supermarkets, department stores, they are in the maturity stage. Right? Their market share, their profit are not growing much fast and further. They just stay there. And if you look at catalog retailers, business district retailers, or general stores, their market share and profits are all in decline. Okay, that's in decline stages. But these are the retail life cycle stages. Different type of stores seem to be belonging to different stage. Okay. And then there are the multi-channel marketing multiplier. Basically, the blending of different communication and delivery channels, and they have an influence effect, and customers can shop in different channels, store, catalog, and website. Okay? This is the average annual dollar spent by JCPenney customers. Average annual dollar spent by JCPenney customer, right? This is the number, $121 by website only, $194 by store only, the $242 catalog only, and then website plus catalog, $500, website plus store, $500, store plus catalog, $700, and website, store, and catalog, $1,000. You can see that the multi-channel retailing, is at work for JCPenney. Multi-channel retailers give us, shows us the hope for future changes in retailing. And companies use data analytics to analyze the trend. And there's new science of retailing, okay? And there's the benefits retailers you use data analytics to understand how consumers shop, to provide personalized real-time messaging and promotions, and offer innovative products, inventory, and manage prices. Like this Amazon books. Amazon has actually a physical store. Okay. Now let's talk about wholesaling. Merchant wholesalers. Yeah. What is merchant wholesalers? Merchant wholesalers are independent-owned firms that take title to the merchandise they handle. Okay, that's merchant wholesalers. Okay, there are the full-service wholesalers, like general merchandise wholesalers, and the specialty merchandise wholesalers, the limited line. The general one has a full line of merchandise. Okay, there's limited service wholesalers, also sometimes called the rack jobbers. Okay, rack jobbers, and there's cash and carry. You've probably heard about cash and carry wholesalers. Okay. There's the drop shippers, desk jobbers, drop shippers, and there's the truck jobbers. Okay, they have different names of different limited service wholesalers. Okay. And in wholesaling, there are agents, brokers, and manufacturers' offices, and manufacturers' reps, manufacturers' agents or reps. You've probably seen that, like pharmaceutical companies use a lot of the pharmaceuticals manufacturers' rep to sell. They have selling agents. And they also have brokers. They have brokers, manufacturers' brokers. They have a branch office, sales office to sell for those manufacturers. Okay. I think that's all I want to talk about for this chapter. And you can watch the video case of the Mall of America, the largest store, largest mall, and among other ones. Okay, I'll see you and talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.